have you ever been told that your health is all in your genes? It's a common belief, but here's the truth. Your genes are only part of the picture. In reality, lifestyle, diet, and mindset play a massive role in how your genes are expressed, which is either they're turned on or turned off. Most people don't even know that can happen. So today we are going to dive into some of the common genes that affect brain health, show you how much control you really have over your well-being. But if you are new here, my name is 𝐿SA&𝐫𝐿, and I help you optimize your brain health so you can feel calm, focused, and productive every day, you and your family. And today we are going to talk about something that often is surprising for people, the fact that your genes aren't set in stone. So it is true that your genes do play a role in your health, and it's the lifestyle choices that you make that have a huge impact on how those genes are expressed. But first, I want to let you know that I am dropping 2 videos a week, Monday and Thursday. On Mondays, we are looking at the 5 different pillars that help for you reverse your brain-related symptoms. And on Thursdays, we are looking at some common misconceptions or maybe some things that you haven't thought about that will change your mindset about your health. So make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are aware when I drop my next video. Let's start with some common genes that are often discussed in relation to brain health. Understanding these can help give you insight in how your genes might be influencing your health. And remember, they're not set in stone, but they do play a big role. We have 1, the APOE gene. The APOE gene, specifically APOE, the E4 variant, is linked to a higher risk in Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. However, lifestyle choices, those that focus on diet and cardiovascular health, can reduce these risks significantly, and even if you do carry this gene. What's really interesting is just today, like a few hours ago, I was watching it wasn't an interview, it was a report, like a medical report, and they were talking about how medicine or the pharmaceutical companies have been creating all of these medications for Alzheimer's, trying to get the beta amyloid plaque out of the brain. And what they found is that they were using faulty studies in order to create these medications. And there was this guy, I don't even remember his name, I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere, but what he had, I don't know, like 120 plus studies that he had falsified the images. And somebody figured it out a few years ago. And so now, but all of the medications, all of the theories about the misfolding of the protein and the beta amyloid plaque was based on all of his quote unquote studies that now have been retracted. In fact, he had one study that was the second most referred study, like the study that had the most like references to that study, that had to totally be redacted. So they're back to square one. They don't exactly know what causes Alzheimer's, but it's not necessarily the folding of the amyloid plaques. They did find some of that in rats. I wouldn't necessarily rule it out, but I wouldn't hold all my eggs in that basket. We don't really know what mechanism is happening, but we do know that aluminum plays a huge role. Heavy metals play a huge role. Chemicals, but especially metals and especially aluminum do play a huge role. What do you need to do to help if you know that you have that gene? In fact, what they found was that they did this study for this medication. I don't know which one it was or if it was multiple, but one in particular. They tested people with the APOE gene, but they didn't let them know what their result was, whether they had it or not, because they didn't want to skew the test. The problem is that if you have the APOE gene, then the medication actually causes things like, I don't want to say strokes. You know what, I think I did write it down right here, because it was just today that I was watching it. Yeah, brain bleeds, micro bursts of the vessels, and clotting in the brain. So those aren't things that you really want to have, whether or not you're at risk or not for Alzheimer's. So anyway, back to square one. The best thing you can do for Alzheimer's is eat a diet that's free of sugar, that's free of chemicals, pesticides, whatever, and free of heavy metals, and to be constantly detoxifying, especially for aluminum and heavy metals. All right, gene number 2, the COMT gene. This one influences the breakdown of dopamine. It is very much connected to ADD, ADHD, and so dopamine is a neurotransmitter that affects mood and cognition. Certain variations of the COMT gene can make someone more prone to stress or mood imbalances. So you can have COMT fast or COMT slow. So if you're COMT fast, you'll have one set of symptoms. COMT slow, you have another set of symptoms. A great book to read is Dirty Genes by Ben Lynch, right? Dr. Ben Lynch. That's a great book to read just to understand the genes and everything that he talks about in there. Just because you have the gene, yes or no, you might not have the gene, the COMT gene, but you still might be acting like you have it because your genes are all getting dirty. But by reading the book, you'll understand the symptoms and that the gene could express if you are too fast or you're too slow. Again, diet, stress management, exercise can help balance dopamine levels and improve mood stability. Dirty Genes is a really good book to read, especially for the COMT gene. Has a lot of really good information, but he has a lot of genes in there, maybe 12, I can't remember. I did a whole series of, I have a Facebook page a Facebook group called Restoring Healthy Brains. And in that group, and one of the guides I did a whole series on, based off of his book, like of all the different genes. And then we have the MTHFR gene. That's a gene that you most likely have heard about. This gene is important for folate metabolism, which is essential for brain function and mental health. Variations of the MTHFR gene can lead to higher levels of homocysteine, which is an amino acid that when there's too much of it, it can contribute to neuroinflammation. So if you're in this methylation cycle, if it's not functioning properly, then you produce too much homocysteine, and that can lead to neuroinflammation. You can actually test for that on an organic acid test. But the right dietary choices and supplements can help you manage those homocysteine levels and support healthy methylation, which is vital for brain health. How lifestyle impacts your gene expression? This is where the epigenetics comes in. Epigenetics, which we mentioned earlier, it is the study of how behaviors and environment can change the way your genes work, or whether they're turned on or turned off. So think your genes like a set of instructions, or maybe the blueprints, right? And epigenetics is the way that you read and apply those instructions. So just because a gene is present doesn't mean that it's actively influencing your health. And also, some other genes can inhibit these genes. So if these genes are turned on, let's say these are the bad genes and these are the good genes, sometimes these good genes can inhibit the bad genes. Lifestyle factors like diet, physical activity, and mindset can switch these genes on or off, affecting whether they can contribute to disease or health. Diet is one of the most powerful ways to influence gene expression, especially when it comes to brain health. Nutrient-dense foods provide the building blocks that your body needs to maintain healthy gene function and to support brain activity. So for example, foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon and flaxseed, they support cognitive function and reduce inflammation. Leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables, they are high in folate, and they can be especially important with those with MTHFR variations. And antioxidants found in berries and dark chocolate and green tea help protect cells, including brain cells, from oxidative stress that can activate harmful gene expression. So moving helps your body, and it helps to affect your gene expression as well. So exercise increases the production of BDNF. BDNF is brain-derived neurotropic factor that promotes growth of new neurons and strengthens existing ones. So if you ever look up BDNF, you'll see it often referred to as miracle grow for the brain. So for genes like APOE, which was the Alzheimer's one, and COMT, which is like the ADHD one, which impacts brain resilience and stress response, regular exercise can mitigate some of the risks by enhancing brain plasticity and lowering inflammation. Studies have shown that even moderate activity like walking or yoga can support a healthy brain by impacting the expression of key genes linked to mood and cognition. So now let's talk about mindset. Chronic stress can actually change the expression of your genes, especially because and stress is not just stress like your emotional stress or you're worried about your money. Stress is also your internal stress, like your microbiome. You have too much bad bacteria. So you have internal stress and there's external stress. External stress can be things like toxins, and external stress can also be things like emotions. So there's two different kind of stuff that you're getting from the environment, like physically, and some emotionally that you're getting from the environment. And stress can activate genes that promote inflammation. That's, of course, going to be harmful to brain health, but practices like meditation, mindfulness, and deep breathing can help calm the nervous system, promote a positive shift in gene expression. For example, managing stress can help regulate the COMT gene's impact on dopamine metabolism, leading to a more balanced mood and reduced anxiety. Your genes don't dictate your future. That's the point. They may set a foundation, but it's your choices that determine the outcome. Studies have shown that lifestyle changes can reduce the risk of diseases. And even if you carry certain genetic predispositions, by focusing on nutrient-dense foods, regular exercise, and stress management, you can guide your gene expression in a positive direction and support your brain health long term. So genes are just one piece of the puzzle, and the choices that you make each day with what you eat, how you move, and how you manage stress plays a huge role in shaping your health outcomes. So if you have found this video informative and empowering, then please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and don't forget to share with anyone who might need a reminder that they are in control of their health. Please comment below if you have any questions either about epigenetics or about brain health, or any questions that you would like me to make a video about. I would totally be happy to do that. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.